What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Eyes Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Kiah. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in this week. If you guys want to locate us on social media, that is going to be at Eyes Wide Open Podcast on the Instagram. And then you can connect on social media with me personally, and I am at Von Kiah on Instagram or at Von Kiah M on Twitter. So look me up. Pages should be pretty public. You guys can find them easy. Let's jump into today's topic, and that is going to be the top 3 ways that I utilize crystals in my daily life, okay? My first set of crystals came to me by way of my cousin. It was New Year's Day this year, and I was, at a family get-together, and I just ended up having a long conversation about my life, where I was at, how things were going, what I was doing, and she's an older cousin, closer to my father's age. So she's very wise and such a wonderful person. I want to bring her on this podcast once all of this COVID thing is over so she can really talk to you guys. She's so amazing of a person. But, I just had a long talk about spirituality, and she is such a beautifully spiritual person. And she said, I've had this set of crystals and I've been holding on to them because I knew they would be for someone else or someone specific. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to be that specific person in her life. So thank you so much, cousin, because, when she did that, it helped me so much through healing a lot of things that was going on with me that we'll get into a little deeper in this episode, okay? I'm going to give you guys a brief history of crystals because I love history, and I think that sometimes we can't appreciate how things are now unless we know some of the origin and where they come from and different past practices that maybe they had. So, as most of you may know, some of you may not know, crystals are created from different elements of the earth. They have been around for a very, very long time, millions of years ago, but they were created within the depths of the earth, okay? They date back for human usage as far as 3100 BC, I believe. And that was more in the ancient Egypt times. They had different crystals like lapis lazuli and crystal quartz, which I love. They had topaz and emeralds. Those were super popular. And they were utilized as different amulets. Even Cleopatra herself wore some of this jewelry. So a lot of the pieces that you guys see back then are different gemstones and different crystals that a lot of us look at today. A lot of the ancient Egyptians would even bury them in their coffins and tombs, and that would be like afterlife protection for them. I can remember doing so many projects about Egypt in school, and I always remember reading about the different amulets and treasures and things that they would bury with their people, so this kind of comes full circle for me. They were also utilized in ancient Chinese practices too, except in those practices, they were very big on jade, if I'm not mistaken, and they used it for a lot of rituals and clothing apparel, for sure. They heavily believed that the crystals had pure and immortal qualities, so they really used to make a lot of their practices surround those things. Members of the Royal Han dynasty, which reigned from 206 BC to about 220 AD, they created ceremony suits that were made completely out of jade, which is sick. Can you guys imagine a whole ceremonial suit made out of jade? You would be super fly if you had that on, right? And then the word crystal actually dates back to ancient Greece, and that really comes from the word, I believe it's pronounced kruos, and that means icy, which puts me in the mind of the Gucci Mane song, I'm So Icy. Don't know why. I think that's back to middle school, somewhere in there. But that came from the belief that crystals were permanently frozen in their state. So if you guys have ever seen some of their crystals, they are really unique shapes. They're all different shapes. None of the crystals I have look identical to the other. They're all different colors, different shapes, different sizes, and that's kind of the beauty in each crystal, is that they're so unique. So a lot of that information I got from the Magic of Crystals book by Frida Garcia. This came with my set of crystals that my cousin also sent me, so shout out to her. I absolutely love this book. It's a really short book. It's maybe like 35 pages, but it has, some really good information in it. Let's get started on each practice, each of my top threes, okay? So number one, I love to use my crystals for healing my chakras, okay? Healing your chakras is actually a really popular Hindu or Buddhist concept, and it's done by placing each one of the crystals with a corresponding part of the body that we would know as a chakra, okay? And they're utilized to heal your mind, your body, and your spirit. A lot of you guys may have seen some Instagram posts or posts on the internet. It'll be like a person in like the meditative crisscross applesauce position, legs folded, and you'll see different color spectrums of the rainbow going down the center of their body. And each one of those different colors represents a chakra. So if you guys are kind of familiar with that, you're in line, okay? My next episode, I'm going to talk about some chakras, okay? So come back for that. But that concept originates from a Sanskrit word meaning wheel, okay? And then prana is also another Sanskrit word, and that is the energetic life force that they believe to move throughout the body and along the 7 chakras. So like it creates that wheel of energy, okay? And obviously the wheel is like a continual moving thing. It's in a circle, and that's how it moves. So essentially think of like your chakra energy should be moving like fluidly. It shouldn't be any blockages or barriers. You want it to just flow, okay? Points on your body starting from the base of the spine to the top of the head. When your chakras are out of alignment or imbalanced, that's more so meaning that your energy isn't moving through the cycle as it should be, okay? And that's going to create a blockage within your mind or whatever chakra point that's out of alignment. So I like to use crystals to heal any one of my 7 chakras. And so you guys know from bottom to top of chakras, there's the root chakra, the sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, okay? Kind of an example of this, the crystal Amazonite, which I love. It's this really beautiful like turquoise blue. Mine is a really beautiful turquoise blue, slightly brown, but it's so gorgeous. I will insert pictures of my crystals for you guys. But this particular crystal is actually great for communication, genuine communication. It binds together your heart chakra and your throat chakra and allows you to speak from genuine place. And I love to keep this crystal with me at work. I do customer service, so I love that for that. And then also when I started this podcast or anytime I record my podcast, I keep this particular crystal right in front of me. It's just a way to always be genuine in my words and try to talk to you guys from a real place. You know what I mean? That's what we want some realness. But the Crystal Bible has amazing information on each one of the crystals. And Amazonite is just like one of my favorite ones because I love to talk and I communicate a lot. So that is one that I always have with me. Seems like I always have that one with me. But let's go to number 2. I love to use crystals for applying face masks, okay? So whatever I may be battling with, I love to use my crystals to apply my face mask like that day or week. So if I'm going through a rough time with communication, I might take my crystal and actually use my face mask on my face with the crystal. I apply it and take it off using that. And I just apply my face mask to the crystal and then I begin to apply it like that. And I really focus in on, trying to align that better and trying to meditate on whatever it is I need to meditate on. Sometimes that could be something with the heart, third eye, anything. There's just different elements that we go through in our lives that different crystals are great for healing. And so I like to utilize that when I'm going through something. It's just another practice I developed. And I actually got this from Cleopatra. Well, it's a segment that I read. Cleopatra used rose quartz specifically as anti-aging properties, and she bathed in it. So I bathe in my rose quartz, but I also took that tip and I decided I'm going to apply my face mask with this. I don't know if that's something she ever did, but I definitely like to do that with my face mask. So if you have face masks and you have some crystals at home that are kind of large enough for you to cover a surface of your face with it, try applying your face mask with that and then focusing in on, what that particular crystal can heal in your life. And I don't think there's any wrong crystals that you can use. It's all just depending on what the crystal is going to be meant for in your life at the moment, okay? Let's see. I also like to use tiger's eye. That's another really great crystal that I like applying my face masks with. But I use my crystal Bible as well to read about what my crystals do. Sometimes I'll just go back and re-reference them and kind of read about the healing properties, because crystal Bible is like so amazing. Like just for Amazonite, I think it gives you such a detailed, it gives you like color, appearance, rarity, the source. It'll give you different attributes, healing, where you can put it in order to generate, good results in that area. So love it for that. And number 3, I've got life energy and life force, okay? Sorry, I just hit my lamp. You guys did not hear that. But my very last tip that I have is a Chinese medicinal practice. And that's the concept that energy flows through us in all things. And I'm a firm believer that energy is not destroyed. It's only transferred, manipulated, moved, okay? It shifts. That's it. I wear a daily rose quartz crystal necklace, and that's really great for healing the heart chakra. With regards or reference to astrology, Venus is a very key planet in my birth chart, and so Venus is the planet of love, so it kind of helps me to do all things out of love, out of a heart space versus out of a space of ego, and being egotistical, because sometimes when we just work out of our ego, it can have a tendency to generate not the best results if you don't utilize your heart space enough. So I definitely wear my necklace regularly to just remind me, like, how are you doing this out of a loving space? How can you create these results from a space of love? And whether that be self-love or love for the other person, a lot of times this is just a great reminder for me. And shout out to my cousin, because she's also the one who gave me this necklace when she sent me my crystals. Love you. But it really does give you like a shield over you. I feel like I have this shield of just higher vibrations over me when I have this necklace on. And it almost feels like even when there are situations that should, irritate me to no end, I kind of have this, and it reminds me always, like, you know what? No, how do you be the bigger person? How do you take a step back and handle things better? And I really, really, really love rose quartz because of that, because for me, this is a really important crystal in my life. I feel like this one in particular has helped me heal a lot of the issues that I have been going through in the last 5-6 months. And I'm just grateful that I have it. I am so grateful because it's impactful. I have 2. I have a loose crystal quartz, and I have a loose rose quartz and a loose one on my neck. But I'm going to attach my crystal Bible link. I'm pretty sure you can get this on Amazon. And I'll attempt to attach The Magic of Crystals by Frida Garcia. I do not know if this is available on Amazon, but if it is, I'll attach it to that as well. But crystals can be used in so many amazing ways, so many. I have tons of practices that I use, like a nice little comprehensive book that I have of different things, practice or rituals that I do. But these are just 3 that I kind of utilize very diligently in my life. And there's a lot of these things that have been used over years, millions of years, different, historical figures that you guys will read about. If you just look at the pictures and different things that they talk about crystals, they talk about gemstones that we have seen over the years. And there's even your birthstones. My birthstone is a diamond. Shout out to the Aries babies. Shout outs to the April babies. But, that's a very popular crystal that a lot of people don't think too much into. in the world. So if you guys have some crystals at home, what do you guys like to use them for? I'm very curious to know. If you don't have any crystals, definitely try to go to a shop, pick some out. They definitely say the best way to get crystals is to pick them out yourself. I have not picked out my crystals, but they were given to me by very trusted family members, so I kind of feel like it was divinely guided in that way, if I will. But just make sure that you guys try to get some. If you can't get to an actual shop, search around, look for very reputable people who would have crystals for you to purchase, and try to, get a couple in your collection and just see what's resonating with you, because they say when you go crystal shopping that it's going to just jump out, like the ones you'll vibe with them certain ways because they have these frequencies and you can feel them. I know when I first got my tiger's eye, the vibrations from that were so overpowering that I was a little I don't want to touch that crystal just yet. I started to read about it a little more, and I began to understand how the energy of that crystal works, and it helped me use it better. So take some time and look up some crystals. Like I said, if you are a person who's just interested in crystals as a whole, the Judy Hall Crystal Bible is great. Absolutely wonderful. And I just want to know how you guys incorporate them in your daily life. Judy Hall also has a deck of crystal cards. So if you guys are curious about crystals and maybe you don't want to invest in some actual crystals just yet, maybe check out on Amazon. She has a deck. I'll link that below. And they say that deck is great because you can kind of hold the card with you as a protective card, which is really cool. I believe on the back of each one of the cards, it gives you a wonderful description about how it's supposed to be used and what the crystal's benefits are going to be. So that's a really great way for you guys to alternate with this. Now, I do want to say crystal work is wonderful, but none of these practices that I mentioned to you guys will work unless you guys are doing other work outside of this to, be a better person, or correct some of the things that's going on. If you do have an issue with communication, you can't just hold the crystal and be like, okay, help me communicate me. You definitely want to make sure that you're understanding how you can be a better communicator, how you can do things better, how you can be more real, how you can be more upfront and honest of different things and situations. So try to utilize those practices and make sure that you're putting in the actual work along with using the crystal. And it's you can't fail. You know what I mean? It's almost you can't just write something down and expect it to get done. You got to go put the work into. So just make sure you guys are putting in the work alongside your crystals for healing. And I feel like you will be amazed at the results that you're able to get. I'm a firm believer in crystals. I love what they have done for me in the last, 5 or 6 months. And again, I'm just so grateful to my cousin for introducing me into the deeper spectrum of crystals. She wasn't the first person I ever heard from them from, but she did gift me my first set, and I had my first experience with crystals in this way through her. So I am just so excited to be talking to you guys about them. And I think next week's episode, I'm going to be talking about chakras. So if you guys are interested, come back for me then, and tell your friends, of course. There's new episodes every single Wednesday. I want you guys to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're listening on Apple or Spotify or Anchor, because, we want to build this up. We want to get this message out to more people. If you are a person who struggles with anything in life, like I said in previous episodes, I struggled with miscarriage. I had 2 in the last it's been over 9 months now, but about 2 in the last 9 months. And using crystals helped me heal from that. It helped me be okay. It helped me heal my sacral chakra. So there's a lot of different usages for these, and I don't want anyone to miss out on them if they don't have to. So again, follow the Instagram page that is at Eyes Wide Open Pod to stay plugged in. Make sure that you guys check us out on Anchor, Apple, and Spotify. All links should be down below for you guys to click into any of them. And if you have some inquiries regarding my podcast, you can contact me at eyeswideopenpod@gmail.com. And then again, connecting with me on social media, that's at Xoxo Kiah on Instagram and at Von Kiah M on Twitter. I am going to be heading out. It's Memorial Day weekend when I'm recording this. Wednesday when you guys are hearing it. So drop down. Tell me if you had a great weekend. Let me know what crystals you like to use. If you already have a crystal Bible or different resources, I want to know. And I want to know what crystals you guys have. So thank you guys so much for listening this week. And I hope that you'll tune in with me again next week for more content, okay? Bye.